Phil Parsons says it's like being in a hockey match. Sometimes you just take a hip check. Sometimes you get crashed into the wall. Tonight, they'll make things a little more interesting by adding 8 cars to the starting lineup to this race. So what was always an action-packed event will have even more so tonight. So they'll beat, they'll bang, they'll bruise each other's feelings. And when it's all done, one can say he survived and won the Busch Series Brawl at the beach.
Tonight, the NASCAR Busch Series has come home to its roots. The half-mile short track at Myrtle Beach in the heart of the Grand Strand. We're getting ready for 250 laps of hard-nosed short track racing. A week ago, we were on another short track, South Boston, Virginia. For the man number 2 in the points, Todd Bodine, it was not a good night. He spun on lap 42. Then on lap 62, he spun again. And the man who is leading the points chase in this NASCAR Busch Series, Jeff Green, goes on to his 2nd win of the season. And coming into tonight's race, we're halfway through this Busch Series season, and Todd Bodine trails Jeff Green by some 264 points. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Myrtle Beach Speedway. I'm Mike Hogwood. We're glad to have you with us tonight on TNN Sports. The bumping and banging of short track racing. We're in for a good time in these 250 laps. And everybody down here seems to be on vacation, except for the 43 drivers who are getting ready to strap themselves inside the race car. And just as we had last week, we've got a new addition at this short track race. I want to bring in my partner now, Greg Sachs. Greg, we've got a continuous pit road, a road that goes all the way around. Some good, some bad. How do you feel about it?
Well, I'll tell you, there's nothing but praise from the pit crews. They love the idea of being back in the race. We've got one continuous pit road, 43 spots from turn 1 all the way around to turn 3. I'll tell you, that gives a new twist, though, for the drivers, because to accomplish that, there's a wall that's right on the inside edge of the track. It does not change the groove in 3 and 4, but it is very intimidating. That driver has to be 2 inches very close to that wall to be right in the groove. Now, down in turn 1, it's a whole new story. And we've got a new bunch of grooves down there. I think we'll talk to Don. He's got the whole story down in turn 1.
Yeah, it does look really tough down there in turn 1. And for more on what's going to happen down there, let's bring in the 4th member of our broadcast team tonight, Bob Dillner.
Well, Mike, before this year, drivers would utilize the bottom groove in the turns, the apron, to get around cars. But you know what? They can't do that anymore. And this is the reason why. They have added 6 inches of asphalt from time to time here in the corner, rumble strips. If your car hits this, it's going to take a ride. But even more important than that, the track has also extended the pit road wall about 75 feet heading into turn 1. A lot of these guys have had to readjust their driving styles here in Myrtle Beach. And as Greg said, this will be a totally new ball game.
And we'll see how that ball game plays out. We're about ready to fire engines. We'll do that in just a moment and get started here at Myrtle Beach.
Fans, for the most exciting words in all of sport, the co-owner of the Myrtle Beach Speedway, Mr. Nick Lucas.
Gentlemen, start your engines and go at God's speed.
Let's hear it, race fans. They weren't listening to what they
Engines have fired down on pit road. We are getting closer to the start of the Myrtle Beach 250. On the pole tonight, Jeff Green, the points leader, winner last week in South Boston. Bob Dillner, he is going to be strong tonight.
Mike, Jeff Green is really excited about this one. Last year, he burned some rubber into the pavement here in Myrtle Beach and then climbed out in victory lane to score his 2nd win of the year. Well, this year, he's got the same car he won with last year. This car has been very special to him. In 14 races, he's got 10 top 10s, 4 poles now, and 4 wins. I can guarantee you something tonight. This Nesquik bunny is going to be awful quick.
There you see Jeff Green ready to roll. Our race analysis, over $700,000 is our purse. 43 cars start, Greg. That's a lot on this track.
I'll tell you, what a traffic jam. And this race will be won from the bottom, down on the lower groove. The guy that's not intimidated by that wall and is not afraid to run along those rumble strips.
Now, there's one guy who thinks this track might owe him a little bit. How about it, Mark Garrow?
Absolutely. Jason Keller said losing the race a year ago may have been one of the bitterest pills he ever had to swallow in his racing career. He led this race in a big way over his teammate Jeff Green in the closing stages by better than 5 seconds. With 4 laps to go, he gets together with a lap car. With 3 laps to go, as he crosses the start-finish line, a tire goes flat, so a would-be, a should-be victory goes away. So he comes to the beach looking for some R&R, not rest and relaxation, redemption and revenge.
Here's our track description. Greg, I think every one of these drivers has driven on a track like this, even if they haven't been here before tonight.
Oh, yeah. Everybody got their grassroots, local short track racing, Saturday nights, flat tracks, bing, bang. You know, it's all about it. If anybody wants a friend after this race, bring a dog, because you're not going to make it on the track.
And there's not a large part of this track where you're going straight. We were talking about this earlier. In the front straightaway, you're mostly still in a turn. In the back stretch, you go straight for a little bit, but there's not a lot of straightaway here.
No, there's not. You go straight in the back stretch for a short while. But in the front straightaway, no sooner you reach the start-finish line, you start to angle into turn 1.
Now we'll take a look at our starting grid, and on the pole it is Jeff Green out of Owensboro, Kentucky. But how about the Richard Childress drivers, Kevin Harvick and Mike Dillon? Andy Santerre also with a great qualifying effort. Row 3, we told you about Jason Keller. How about the youngster Casey Atwood? He'll be a factor. David Green has won this race before here in Myrtle Beach. Ricky Hendricks, strong qualifying run. Tim Fedewa has run well at the beach in the past. Row 7, Jason Schuler, the youngster, Tom Hubert, Jay Sauter. Ron Hornaday leads the rookie standings. Philip Morris, short track specialist. They say he's got all kinds of talent. Randy LaJoie has won here before. So is Elton Sawyer. Bobby Hamilton Jr. grew up on the short tracks at Nashville. Thinks his track's a lot like that. Todd Bodine trying to move up in the points, move up in this race. How about Tony Raines, who ran so well a week ago at South Boston? Can he get to the front here tonight?
They need to try a little different pit strategy if they're going to get to the front tonight. They really lost that in the pits last week. Mike McLaughlin, we just saw him. I'd love to see him have a good run tonight.
There you see rows 15 and 16. Shane Hall on a rare Busch Series appearance this season.
And Rich Bickle just coming off a great run last week, finishing 5th. Now we're going on. We've got Mark Green back there looking good.
Hank Parker Jr. Buckshot Jones on the 20th row taking a provisional. Chad Chapin was great in practice. Something happened in qualifying. I expect him to really move up. Justin Labronte and Jason White taking provisionals as the cars are out on the track taking their pace laps. We'll be riding with Buckshot Jones tonight among our in-car cameras. Here's a view from Buckshot on board, starting 39th in the race. P.J. Jones said the first time he got a look at the Myrtle Beach Speedway was today in practice, and they only had 2 hours of it. We told you about Todd Bodine, number 2 in the points. Will be on board with car 66 today. He starts 22nd. He wants to move up in a hurry. And Randy LaJoie, past winner here, starts 19th today. Jason Keller. Well, we told you his story. 1 year ago, had this race won. The dominant car by far here at Myrtle Beach. Tire goes down 3 laps left. And there's Jeff Green. What a ride he gave us a week ago here on TNN Sports as he drove that number 10 car home to victory at South Boston, Virginia. Wants to make it 2 in a row on the short track. Boy, he was dominant in practice. Our weather, well, we're down to 75 degrees, but I can tell you it was much hotter than that today here at Myrtle Beach. Very little wind. We do have a chance of showers. There have been some thunderstorms in the area, but right now it looks like a clear night for Saturday night at the races on TNN Sports. Field is bunched up. Jeff Green will, and I think the strategy here early is going to be save tires, don't you?
Oh, it sure is. There's no doubt about it. Some guys were talking about trying to stretch it and make a one-stop pit for the whole race. Now, that would be incredible. The tires really go away fast. They lose a lot of speed.
Let's get a word before we go green from Mark Garrow.
You know, a lot of these drivers are expecting a lot of swapping of sheet metal tonight. You mentioned Buckshot Jones earlier. They brought a Pontiac to this racetrack. It is one of only 2 they have in their shop. They're planning to reskin it to a Chevrolet Monte Carlo. So but what better way to maybe get ready to do that than bring it to Myrtle Beach? It gets beat up, banged up, and they'll tear the body off and change it to a Monte Carlo. By the way, the tire rule tonight, they get 2 sets of tires to change under yellow flag conditions. The pit road speed 30 miles per hour. The pace car will do 35 miles per hour on the racetrack during the yellow flag periods.
Well, if you want to get a car reskinned, this is a place to do it. Jason Jarrett, Lance Hooper, Richard Jarvis, and Andy Kirby disappointed today. Had to pack up and go home before the start.
Big surprise, too. Andy Kirby was very fast in practice. I thought he had a good shot.
We're getting set to go green. Pace car is down on pit road. Jeff Green will lead him to the green flag. Kevin Harvick is alongside him in car 2, and we're ready to get going. 250 laps at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Surprise in qualifying out of Bakersfield, California. One of those who said he's never been here before today, but you'd have never known it in practice and qualifying, as that Richard Childress prepared Chevrolet is really stout.
And take a look at Andy Santerre taking over 3rd spot on the outside around Mike Dillon.
Jeff Green in that yellow 10. That is Kevin Harvick in the blue, number 2. Out in front early in this race. And as we talked about tires, we know that's going to be the story. A lot of these guys, as you see Ron Hornaday moving up quickly, the tires will go away in a hurry here at this track.
And I think that's what Jeff Green is doing. Playing it cool, saving his tires, not worrying about that race too much as he goes for the lead right now.
Kevin Harvick holds him off. Harvick is the lead. But look at the 25 of Andy Santerre moving up quickly. Another one of those youngsters who was a big surprise.
I don't think Andy's worrying about his tires. He made a move on the outside earlier that was awesome.
Early stages of the race. Jeff Green will tell you his strategy is to be ready to run hard late in the day, stay up front. But I don't think he's really concerned about leading this race at this point.
No, I don't think he is. But take a look at that in-car camera view. Look at how close they are to that wall in 3 and 4.
Just as you talked about, Greg, there's a little bit of a different groove getting around here with that new pit wall. And Kevin Harvick, he didn't know what the old groove was like. So he found his groove early. Bob Dillner got a story on Jeff Green.
Mike, the big thing about Jeff Green is that's astonishing everybody here is that car gets better and better as the race goes on. About 40 laps into the top run on the tires, most cars drop off about a second a lap. Well, Jeff Green only drops off about a half a second, and that will be a lot here in the end of the race.
That is a huge difference when he can only drop off a half second after, say, 20 laps.
He told me that you lose that half a second in the first 20 laps, but he can maintain that for the next 60. That was incredible.
Well, the car that has really moved up, Ron Hornaday, has made his way into the top 5. We're in the early stages of the Myrtle Beach 250. Kevin Harvick is our leader. Welcome back to the Myrtle Beach Speedway. We are under our first caution of the night. And the reason, number 58, Mario Gosselin, has tagged the wall in turn 4. He is still running. He is down on pit road now. But Mario Gosselin, who makes a rare appearance, is going to run 5 races this year in the Busch Series. Normally a Hooters Pro Cup driver and has had an ARCA win to his credit. There you see Mario Gosselin out of Lake Wales, Florida. And we see him backing down off the wall and does get into Justin Labonte just a bit in the 44 car.
Justin already had a little damage on the back of his car. I didn't see where he got that, but he had already had damage to the back of the car.
Again, under our first caution, Kevin Harvick is our leader out of the Truck Series into Busch Racing with Richard Childress' team and has done a wonderful job here today. Let's go down to Mark Garrett.
You're talking a little bit about Andy Santerre. This is just the 4th race that he was supposed to run this year. The deal was that 22 races, Kenny Wallace was going to run the Lance Snack Chevrolet. He would run 10. So he's run 3 already that he were originally scheduled on the plan in 2000. He's run 4 more when Kenny Wallace couldn't make the race on speed, and they could only use a provisional if a Busch Series driver was driving the car. So he's actually run 7 races. But in the 3 races they had mapped out for him, he is had an average finish of 9th. He's had a top 5 and 2 top 10s out of those 3 events. They're expecting the same tonight out of Andy Santerre.
What a great run for Andy Santerre. He is running 4th right now. David Green has made his way up to 5th. 2 cars who are definitely on the move and contenders here at Myrtle Beach tonight. Andy Santerre, a native of Maine, and has done a great job with the opportunity he's been given behind the wheel of car 25. We are back under green flag racing. Harvick and Green, Santerre, and Jason Keller has made his way to 4th now. We told you about Ron Hornaday, how strong he was in the early move that he had made. Hornaday on the outside.
He is flexing his muscle out there. He's really working the outside groove.
The 34 there is David Green that he's going by, the 18 car of Jason Leffler. You'll see our Napa field standings. Napa, stop by any Napa Auto Parts store in June for the chance to win a new car for life. Ricky Hendrick in the top 10 early in the going here. And a look at the damaged machine of Mario Gosselin. There's Ricky Hendrick, car 24. I put out early a week ago in South Boston, hoping for a much better night here tonight. Kevin Harvick is our leader, and Jason Keller has made his way up into 2nd place. David Green and the 34 machine will be a factor in this race tonight.
I'll tell you.
Back up to our leaders, and there you see Jeff Green in the yellow 10, the Busch Series points leader, content now to ride 2nd behind Kevin Harvick. Talk to Jeff Green. He loves coming to Myrtle Beach. Had his honeymoon with his wife Michelle here, and every year they make a habit of coming to Myrtle Beach a little early, spending some time here, and Jeff Green loves it here. Here's
Jason Keller coming into the picture. Jason's going to flex his muscles here. He's looking at Andy Santerre.
When you say flexing his muscles, I think, you know, they're going to flex some muscles, but they're also going to be a bit cautious here in this 250 lap event.
Yeah, but you know, it is still Saturday night. It's night racing. They're going to charge hard for a while, then they're going to try to get control and back it off a little bit. But at the start of the race, a driver just can't help but run hard.
There you see Jason Keller's telemetry, and speed really varies on a short track like this.
116 mile an hour for a top end, down to, down 70 mile an hour in the turn, 74 mile an hour. You've got to use a lot of brakes here, and you've got to be careful not to use your brakes up, not to overheat them.
I think that's what Jeff Green did such a magnificent job of a week ago, was taking care of that car, not abusing it, and having it ready to race late in the race.
And Jeff Green has got his car on the bottom, making a move on Harvick.
You got to wonder what's going through the mind of a guy like Kevin Harvick. He said, hey, I've never seen the place before. I come here. It reminds me of a few tracks out on the West Coast. And, yeah, it took a while to figure it out. Once he did, qualified 2nd.
Jeff Green is working him over. He went outside. Now he's back inside. What a move.
On board with Jeff Green, Busch Series points leader. As you see, is moving to the outside. I think Jeff Green's decided he might like to lead this race for a while.
He doesn't look like he's saving any tires, does he, Mike?
No, he does not. Not at all. Meanwhile, Jason Keller, his teammate, hanging back there in 3rd position.
Harvick is definitely holding him up a little bit. He wants to get by. Once he gets out front, then he can manage his tires. But he's also looking to put a lot of cars down a laps in the beginning of this race.
Jeff Green, Kevin Harvick side by side as they head down the back stretch at Myrtle Beach. And as they come into turn 3, Jeff Green is going to get it. Jeff Green takes the lead for the first time in this race tonight.
And it's his teammate Jason Keller looking to make a bid for 2nd right now.
You were right, Greg. Kevin Harvick was holding him up just a little bit. And you really have to pick your spot to pass on a track like this.
You sure do. And that's why it looked like Jeff was working so hard to get the lead to use his tires up doing that. But he knew once he got in front, then he could manage his tires.
Tire management the key. Jeff Green. Does anybody have anything for the Busch Series points leader? We'll see in just a moment. There's our leader, Jeff Green. And once he got out in front, Greg Sachs, he has really put the pedal down.
He has, but I'll tell you what, Kevin Harvick is getting a great schooling right now. He is between two veterans, two wily guys here at Myrtle Beach. We got Jeff Green in front of him and Jason Keller right behind him. Couldn't find two better guys to learn the way around this track.
Kevin Harvick going to school, learning a few things. Bob Dilder, how about that two-car?
Well, Mike, as you mentioned earlier, Kevin Harvick has never seen this place. And like you just said, he's going to school. Crew Chief Todd Berrier told him, just pace yourself right now. Learn the groove, learn the rhythm. We're not going to win the race in the early part of this event. We need to be there at the end. And that's what they're going for right now to Mark Arrow.
Started this race in the 3rd position. He's now faded back now to 9th, in danger of falling out of the top 10. His problem, as Greg Sachs talked about earlier, is brakes. He's having a problem right now with the left front brake, and it's locking up. That's causing him to slide up the racetrack in the corners. He can't keep it down at the bottom of the racetrack.
Wow, that is really tough break for Mike Dillon. Well, you see now in lap traffic, Jeff Green, and really when you've got 43 cars, Greg, you're going to be in lap traffic a good part of the night as the field has now strung out virtually all the way around this racetrack.
Well, that's true, and I'll tell you what, this is exactly what Jeff Green wants. He wants to put the field down. He wants to put them down a lap. He wants to go around. He wants to dominate.
You see him going by the 82 of Jason White. 63 of Mark Green was next on the agenda, and that's his brother. It's awful tough to put your brother a lap down.
I don't think there's any love between brothers in a race like this tonight.
I talked to Jeff the other day, and he said his dream would be for the Green brothers to finish a race 1, 2, and 3, but he said when he's racing, if he's side by side, he doesn't think about him being a brother.
I think that dream has him in first also.
Yeah, I believe it. Jason Keller in 2nd place, and you're on board, and you can see that Myrtle Beach traffic jam straight ahead of him. How much does lap traffic play a factor, Greg?
A lot, and the biggest thing is trying not to use up your brakes, because when you're running the traffic, you used to use more brake because you have to run the car harder. So how hard do you run the car to pass these cars without using up your brakes, using up your tires?
There you see Harvick in the blue 2-car. Oh, almost turned Jeff Green around. Was that a love tap? I don't think so. Wow. Kevin Harvick right up on the rear bumper of Jeff Green. Green, as you saw, got out of shape, and I think he did a great job to save that car.
Great job saving that car and not losing but one spot.
Now some hardcore short track racing early.
Okay, here we are coming off of turn 4. And you see what happened? Jeff checked up a little bit for the cars in front, the big traffic. And Harvick did not see that, got in the back of Green.
Is that inexperience?
I think intimidated, not looking far enough ahead, looking at the bumper of Green's car.
All right. Well, Jeff Green still in one place, headed in the right direction. Kevin Harvick is our leader at Myrtle Beach after 42 laps. If you think things get wild here, check out TNN Sunday night. That's when you'll see professional rodeo riders experience the longest 8 seconds in sports. It's PBR Championship Bull Riding from New Orleans. Sunday night at 9 Eastern and Pacific right here on TNN. And we have a change in the lead. Jeff Green has taken it back away from Kevin Harvick. And we've got a little trouble in turn 2.
It's a 17 car. He's smoking bad.
Jason Schuler, smoke pouring out the rear of that machine.
A lap earlier, he got into the wall in 1 and 2, and that's a tire up that's causing all that smoke.
Well, the caution flag is out, our second of the night, and it's because of the 17 of Jason Schuler. There you see the 10 of Jeff Green, who retook the lead away from Kevin Harvick. Those two cars have been our only leaders here in this race tonight.
There he is. There you got him up in the wall. That's where the tire got rubbing on the sheet metal, causing the smoke, bringing out the caution. He probably had that tire go down after rubbing that wall.
So a tough break for Jason Schuler, the youngster out of Cambridge, Wisconsin. Robbie Reister owns that machine. Matt Kenseth has driven to some wins this year and did an excellent job behind the wheel of that machine a year ago. Now, of course, he's got a full-time Winston Cup ride, and Jason Schuler sharing the ride of car 17 with Matt Kenseth this year.
You know, we didn't get that right from the beginning. He just got a little wide going down into one and got out of the groove, into the marbles, and up into the wall.
Working lap 52 now. Again, we're under caution. And again, we've talked about tires, and I would think, Greg, at this point in time, the tires starting to go away a little bit. Here's the lead change that took place just before we had this caution flag. I think Jeff Green was determined to get this back. Huh?
No doubt. I believe there's a little smoke in that car from that little incident earlier. And now he should look at that. All the way on the bottom. 4 tires under the line.
He was pushing the car right then. He wanted to show Kevin Harvick that, you know, hey, this may be short track racing, but I'm going to take it over. We have a few cars on pit road as we continue under caution here at Myrtle Beach on lap 53. Wrenchhead.com with millions of brand name auto parts and accessories to choose from. It's easy to prove you're a wrench head. Are you a wrench head? Wrenchhead.com. Parts online all the time. Back at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Let's go down to pit road now and Mark Garrow.
Taking a look now at the Jason Schuler machine. Matt Kenseth has had some great luck in this race car this year, winning a couple of races. Been pretty rough for Jason Schuler as a rookie. This is his 4th start. This time he had the track bar break, and that's what sent him hard into the walls up in turns 1 and 2.
Wow, they've got some major repairs to do on that one. Back under green flag racing at Myrtle Beach, and that means Jeff Green putting Phil Parsons a lap down. The 59 is Phil Parsons, not on the lead lap. The blue 2 of Kevin Harvick is, and he is pressing Jeff Green. So is his teammate Jason Keller in 57.
Phil Parsons is looking to stay on the tail end of the lead lap.
Bob Dillner, you got more on Jeff Green?
Well, things are getting pretty heated down here in the Nesquik pits. Actually, Jeff Green and second place runner Kevin Harvick are pitted next to each other. When Harvick ran into Green there a while back, each team pointed fingers at each other. Jeff Green came on the radio and told Harold Holley, if they want to play like that, I can play like that too.
Harold Holley and Jeff Green have been together for a long time. Jeff Green actually got started filling in here for Chad Little.
That's right. And they hit it off so well.
Exactly.
Here they are running for a championship.
Right now, way out in front of that championship race. But Jeff Green says he's not thinking about that. He told me what he wants to do is go out and just win races, and that'll take care of itself.
And I believe he's telling you honestly when he says that. He's a racer that wants to win, and he is showing it.
Jeff Green was the dominant car in practice today. Certainly the favorite coming in here to Myrtle Beach. Surprise? Well, the youngster, Kevin Harvick, Jason Keller. As we told you, feels this track owes him a little bit after last year and the heartbreak. You see Casey Atwood has moved up to 4th. He's another driver who needs a good run. More on Jeff Green from Bob Dillner.
Well, Mike, you had mentioned that Harold Holley and Jeff Green have quite a history. Well, they do, and it all began right here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Back in '94, Chad Little couldn't make the race here. He was running the Busch Series at that time. Harold Holley was his crew chief. And when car owner Greg Pollux asked him who he wanted in the car, he chose Jeff Green. Jeff Green drove that car to a top 5 finish. So when Greg Pollux came back to Harold Holley last year to ask him who he wanted for his driver, he said, again, Jeff Green.
Well, Jeff Green, I think you can't make light of the problems with chemistry. You know, the chemistry is so important, and Jeff Green and Harold Holley certainly have it. Mike McLaughlin one of his laps back. And Kevin Harvick's not letting him up there to get back up there to fight with Jeff Green. The battle for second place, the 2 of Kevin Harvick, the 57 of Jason Keller.
I'll tell you, Jason doesn't like to see Jeff get too far away. I think that if Jeff keeps stretching out, he'll put a little more pressure on Kevin Harvick.
Let's start talking about pit stops a little bit. What do you expect? I mean, with tires, they're allowed 2 more sets of tires, and I think they'll use every bit of tire that they possibly can here, whereas a week ago, tires weren't that big of a factor.
Well, that's true, but Jeff Green is going to set the stage. He's the only guy, I believe, here will run half the race, get 1 set of tires, and go the rest of the way. He may turn this into a one-stop race.
We're 67 laps into the Myrtle Beach 250. Jeff Green has just established himself as the dominant car. Right now, the race is for second place. We'll be back with more from the Grand Strand in South Carolina in just a moment. We are under caution in Myrtle Beach. There's the reason. Jeff Purvis backed into the wall. Several other cars sustained some minor damage, but this caution on lap 71. There's a look at Jeff Purvis, disappointed, I'm sure, at his night ending early here at Myrtle Beach. As we were saying, on lap 71, a number of these cars, all the leaders, including Jeff Green and Kevin Harvick, did come down pit road for their first pit stops. Boy, Jeff Purvis not happy.
No, Jeff Purvis is not happy camper. He is looking for somebody. We don't know who it is yet, but there was definitely contact there somewhere. He feels that he was done wrong.
Jeff Purvis has had a bit of a disappointing season for him. He's changed crew chiefs. Doug Richard now turning the wrenches on that car. Boy, you know, what an emotional job this is. And you know, he looks like he wants to point and throw that helmet at somebody.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Randy LaJoie.
Randy LaJoie.
Well, Randy LaJoie has been in a few scrapes in the past, and so.
Let's see what we have here.
Well, it had already happened at that point, but you saw that the one of LaJoie was in the vicinity. Still a little after what had happened, but and you see some of the other cars that were involved in it. Nobody really serious damage there, just a little sheet metal bang up. But Jeff Purvis, certainly some serious damage on that car, and as you saw, he was not happy with one Randy LaJoie.
It was obvious from Jeff's emotions that he felt that Randy got into the back of him and obviously sent him around.
I know.
There's Jeff Purvis. As you can tell, upset at what has happened to him, and certainly talking to him this afternoon, he had hoped for such a good run here tonight and maybe to turn his season around a little bit, and then disappointment. This sport, like so many, is very, very emotional. Let's go down to Mark Arrow.
Headache, no headache for the Excedrin team of Jason Keller on that pit stop. Just a tick under 18 seconds. They changed 4 tires, a slight track bar adjustment. The car is real good, but they wanted to tinker with it just a bit to try to track down their teammate, Jeff Green. Let's go over now to Bob Dildner.
Mark, a big headache for Kevin Harvick and the team. They couldn't get the fuel in the car, and that cost them on the track. They lost a spot to Jason Keller. As far as leader Jeff Green, it was a little loose. They made a slight chassis adjustment to try to get that car to actually not turn as much in the corner.
Tony Raines has yet to come on pit road, and he is now posted as our race leader. We're under caution in Myrtle Beach. We'll be back in just a moment. Next Thursday night, there's more arena football on TNN. See if the Milwaukee Mustangs can slow down the San Jose SaberCats. It's a critical game for San Jose. Don't miss all the hard hits. Next Thursday night at 8 Eastern and Pacific right here on TNN Sports. P.J. Jones' car. You're watching from the cockpit. That's Buckshot Jones right in front of him. Tony Raines is our leader. Bobby Hamilton Jr. running second. Philip Morris third. And Phil Parsons fourth.
Mike McLaughlin 5th. And we're seeing pit strategy come into play right now. Those 5 drivers elected to stay on the track. And that's how they acquired the lead.
But with old tires, when we go green, it won't be long before one Jeff Green gets back up to the front.
But, you know, they say these tires go away in about the first 10 laps. If they can just hang on for 5 to 10 laps and not lose too many spots, they're going to be in good shape.
More on what's happening on pit road from Mark Garrow.
It is all about pit strategy, but you look at these cars that are out front now ahead of Jeff Green. Most, if not all of them, pitted the last time. So they got in ahead of the leader. Now they've got some track position for this race, and maybe it will pay off for some top 5 and top 10 finishes for some drivers who would have been on the outside looking in if perhaps they hadn't made that move earlier.
Indeed, and for Tony Raines, here's a guy who ran so well a week ago. One of the cars that was involved been up sheet metal all over, but you expect that on a short track race. Rodney Childers now out and behind the wall.
You know, we saw a lot of emotion out of Jeff tonight, but he had such a good car. He had such high expectations for tonight. I think that's what really brought that anger out in him.
We're 77 laps into this 250-lap event, and we're ready to go back. Green flag racing at Myrtle Beach, and let's see what Tony Raines and Bobby Hamilton Jr. can do up front. Boy, one car's really slowing on the racetrack. It's the 63 of Mark Green. Dropped way back there for a moment.
Yeah, he caused a little excitement, a little bit of a traffic jam there.
Well, the black flag is out.
There's the man to watch, Jeff Green, to watch him come back through this pack.
I think it was for the 17. Jason Schuler, we'll see if he pulls down on pit road and who will get it around this time. Morris has now moved into second. What a story he is. A guy who has really made a name for himself on short tracks. Wants to make it in this Busch Series. Thinks he can. And there are a lot of people who are behind him who think he can as well. Driving the 30 car tonight. Here's Philip Morris in car 30. Has just taken the lead away from Tony Raines. Philip Morris, now your leader. Philip Morris out of Ruckersville, Virginia. You saw him win a late model race in South Boston a week ago. On board now with Jeff Green as he works his way back up through the field. He's made it to the top 5 and now wants to set his sights on Ron Hornaday, who is in 4th position. That Kevin Harvick machine is in 3rd. It's not going to be that easy to get around those two. Even if you have a quicker car, passing is still a little dicey on a tight track.
You know, you need about 2 to 2.5 tenths to make a good, clean pass.
The 33 is Tony Raines, the 2 is Kevin Harvick, and the 3, Ron Hornaday. And you're on board with the man who won the pole for the race tonight, Jeff Green. In 5th place, but he's got some fresh tires, and he wants more.
Look at Philip Morris in the front. The leader is running a very high line, and we can get up to him.
Tony Raines having another good run here tonight, 2nd week in a row. How about it, Mark Garrow?
Well, for Tony Raines this week, a difference in strategy from crew chief Alan Russell. Remember, a week ago, he waited, and then in the end, everybody thought he waited too long. They wound up the runner-up. This week, they come in ahead of the leaders, trying to make up for the mistake perhaps a week ago with a different strategy this week that will pay off in a victory for this team.
He did run a strong race in South Boston. Back up front, and Ron Hornaday is going to battle with Philip Morris. That Hornaday in the 3 machine leads the rookie points, and a lot of folks, Greg, say, hey, how come that 3 car isn't winning like it was last year? But this is a totally different team.
It's a totally new team. Dale Jr. took his entire team to the Cup with him. Ron Hornaday is doing a terrific job with a brand new team.
And Ron Hornaday has just taken over the lead of this race. Philip Morris tucks in behind him. You know, for most people who have been following this series, it's only a matter of time until Ron Hornaday, who's proven himself over and over on tracks just like this one in the Truck Series, champion there. You see Jeff Green battling Kevin Harvick.
Ron Hornaday will find victory lane, and soon. Philip Morris keeps running that high line in second position. I think you'll see Jeff Green come into the picture and show him where the track really works best, and that's on the bottom.
Jeff Green's in that yellow 10 down low. He's side by side for second place now, and Jeff Green is going to blow by Philip Morris and move back into second place. Didn't take him long to get back up to the front.
No, it didn't, but I am really impressed with Philip Morris and the job he is doing on the outside lane. He is so wide. It's incredible that he's even running with these guys.
Philip Morris, many say, is a master on this type of track, and has certainly won late model races all across the country on these half-mile and sometimes even shorter tracks. Now, Jeff Green and Hornaday, 1 and 2. Jeff Green wants to get out front, set his own pace so he can manage his car, manage his tires, and take care of that equipment.
And he's looking to make that move to the front right now. All four under the yellow line. Jeff Green back in front.
Jeff Green back out in front of the Myrtle Beach 250. Only took him a couple of laps. 92 in, 159 to go. Jeff Green, Ron Hornaday, and Jason Keller leading on the Grand Strand. Coming up next Saturday on TNN, Saturday night at the races. The ASA drivers travel to I-70 Speedway for the Missouri 300, presented by Danny King. It's another short track war, Saturday night at 9 Eastern and Pacific, right here on TNN Sports. Saturday night at the races in Myrtle Beach. The story is Jeff Green. What a year he's had, the defending winner of this race, going for his 8th straight top 5 finish. That's how you win championships, and that's the reason he has such a huge lead in the point standings. Jason Keller, his teammate, is running second. Moving into the top 5, and a driver we haven't talked about a lot tonight is Casey Atwood out of Nashville, Tennessee, the youngster who's going to Winston Cup next season.
He's currently in 4th and really taking a hard look at Ron Hornaday in 3rd spot there. Casey's been going to the outside, going to the inside. He doesn't want to see Jason get away from him.
Casey Atwood's best finish this year is 7th. That was at Loudon. He's only had 3 top 10s. Well, Jeff Purvis is come out of the NASCAR trailer. Let's go down, Bob Dillon.
Well, Jeff Purvis is a driver who's had a lot of bad luck. You went into the NASCAR hauler, obviously very upset when you got out of the car. What happened?
Well, we've not had the best of years so far already, and you know, I had a car that with a little bit of adjustment would have been I think a really good contender here tonight, and you know, to get taken out this early in the race, you know, I can pretty much drive in up under anybody out there and wreck them, and that's what I feel like happened to me. And I probably should have waited till after the race, but I was pretty angry, and you know, I just hate it for everybody.
Jeff Purvis a little toned down actually after he comes out of the NASCAR.
Well, back in the pack a bit, there is the 83 of Wayne Grubb. That's a backup car. He wrecked his primary car in practice early today.
Another look at Mike Dillon. Mike's made some adjustments on his car. He's trying to get back in the fray of things.
Qualified 3rd, but had some problems with brakes. The 21, the 36 there is Tim Fedua, another car who has a history of running fairly well here at Myrtle Beach, but now running 15th. Check out our Napa scoreboard.
I spoke with Tim and his crew chief, Billy Nasmith. Billy wanted to loosen the car up. Tim wanted to tighten the car up. I think they decided just to leave it alone. They were really uncertain about the setup for tonight, going from daytime to nighttime.
Now on board with Todd Bodine, who's listed in the 18th position. There's his telemetry. You can see him getting down to 66 miles an hour before cranking it back up. Well, you're right. They really get on the brakes here. Todd Bodine looking for a good run. Had a rough week last week. He was sick in the race car. Had a sinus infection. Feeling much better this week for you Todd Bodine fans who are interested in his health. He has had some sinus problems throughout the season, but he feels good this week. Feels like a good run tonight. Boy. Almost touches Kevin Grubb there in the 37. The 24 is young Ricky Hendrick. Shares that car with Jeff Gordon during this Busch season.
Ricky Hendrick doing a real nice job. That's back in 19th spot, looking for 18th.
Todd Bodine has gained a position over Grubb. He is now up into the 17th spot, but a long way to go for the man who stands number 2 in the Busch Series point standings. He's trying to gain some ground and catch Jeff Green, but Jeff Green leading this race. That's a lot of points.
Jeff is making it real tough.
Tony Raines and Mike Dillon now side by side. It looks like Mike Dillon has the problems that were plaguing that car all solved at this point. Dillon in 15th. And put Raines back in the 16th position. And running up in lap traffic, there's our leader, Jeff Green. We talked about starting 43 cars on this half-mile track. That's a lot. And they're pretty well strung out all the way around here right now as you look back from Jeff Green's machine to Justin Labonte.
Oh, I tell you what, speaking of traffic jams, Jeff Green is showing what a great driver he is tonight, because this is all the pressure's on him. He has to work his way through this traffic. He wants the big lead, but he doesn't want to get caught up in any incidents. We've got to remember, he's got that championship run. He's not just racing tonight, he's racing the whole season.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix was singing about a traffic jam at the start of our program tonight, and we're seeing one. Jeff Green's done a great job of negotiating, and that's Wayne Grubb, as we told you, in a backup car in front of him. Mario Gosselin in the 58 got involved and caused our first caution when he bumped into the wall.
But look at Jeff, outside, inside, whatever they leave, he'll take the other group, whatever they want to give him. His car is working so well, that's why he's able to negotiate this traffic so easily.
Since the restart, well, Jeff Green from 8th to 1st. You can't do much better than that. There's the trouble. Mike Dillon is involved. So is the 30 of Philip Morris. And again, it is in that turn 1, coming out of turn 1 and into turn 2, where we have seen trouble before here tonight. And as we talked about at the beginning of our program,
Sure did.
it is going to be a tough spot on this racetrack, and there's heavy damage on both the 30 of Philip Morris and the 21 of Mike Dillon. Both had been running very, very strong.
Oh, 3 wide going down into turn 1 at the start there. Well, it looks like Mike Dillon came down on Bodine. They got together, and then Philip Morris got gathered up.
What a break for Todd Bodine.
Yeah, he was very fortunate.
He was so close to getting caught up in that and just did squeeze by. There is Mike Dillon. It's our 4th caution of the day. We're 116 laps in. A full moon over Myrtle Beach. Ow! Well, we told you about the tough break for Philip Morris. Some heavy damage on the right front of that car as they're trying to pull the sheet metal up off the fenders. Philip Morris losing valuable time here on pit road, even though we are under caution. Mike Dillon is back down for a 2nd time as well. Hey, coming up tomorrow on TNN, the Winston Cup drivers get their shot at the unique 3 turns of Pocono Raceway. There's always a lot of action in the Pocono 500, so check it out tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific, right here on TNN. Eli Gold, Buddy Baker, Dick Berggren, and the crew will be busy as beavers tomorrow, and a great race in Pocono. We're looking forward to that tomorrow afternoon. Here in Myrtle Beach, there's some TNN fans. They'll be certain to watch race day tomorrow. Race day will be setting the table for a busy Sunday of racing. Hope you'll join Rick Benjamin at noon Eastern and catch the fallout from Friday's resignation of CART chairman and CEO Andrew Craig. Get a preview of the Detroit Grand Prix, highlights from the Craftsman Truckers, IHRA, drag racing from Grand Bend. We'll have the World of Outlaws as well. It's race day tomorrow at noon Eastern. Let's take a look, Greg Sachs, at that wreck one more time. And Todd Bodine, you're riding with him now. He was really fortunate.
He was really pressing the issue on the inside there. Couldn't really tell much from that angle. But it really seemed like in the front straightaway. Here you go. Todd had made it 3 wide going to the bottom. You can see the 33 on the outside minding his own business. Todd and Mike got together. The 33 gets gathered up. Or the 30, rather.
Yeah, Philip Morris just nowhere to go. Mike Dillon also bumping with Todd Bodine there, gets turned around a bit. And some tough sheet metal damage on that machine. Bob Dillner?
Mike Hogwood, I've been watching Todd Bodine for many, many laps going into turn number 1, and that car is just pushing and pushing. He radioed into crew chief Donnie Richardson, and he said, we definitely need to loosen this car up on the next stop. Let me tell you, going 3 wide into turn number 1, that's not what you want to do with a car that's pushing going into the corner. To Mark Garrow.
As you can see, a lot of damage to the left rear of the Rockwell Automation Chevrolet of Mike Dillon. Tough break for him. He started this race third, really did have some high hopes of perhaps winning this race. Not only do they have the sheet metal damage, they also believe they pushed the rear end housing over. They're working on that. They also have a major oil leak, and they're trying to find the source of that so they can fix it and then somehow get him back into action.
Wow. Troubles abound for one Mike Dillon in car 21 after such high hopes after qualifying here at Myrtle Beach. Check out NASCAR online before, during, and after the race at www.nascar.com. It is your 24-hour NASCAR Garage Pass. You've got a pass here on TNN Sports tonight. It's the NASCAR Busch Series. There's Casey Atwood, we talked about a moment ago, running for 10th in the points in this series. Really, only 3 top 10 so far this year, Greg. He could use a good run, and of course has been widely publicized, heading off with Ray Evernham next year to run in that Dodge startup team.
Tonight he's running way beyond his years of experience. He is running an excellent race tonight, very smart. He's not pressing it. He's right now currently in 4th position. He just lapped Bill Parsons there. He's just keeping the leaders in sight. He looks like he's really managing his tires very well, doing a great job coming up through the field.
Bob Dillner, definitely Casey Atwood's best run of the year.
Well, Greg said it right. He is just pacing himself right now. You're right. This team really needs a good run. And what a better place to come at than Myrtle Beach. This track is very similar, and the setup is very similar on that car to what they run at the Nashville Speedway. And that is Casey's home, so he will definitely be one to contend with at the end of this race.
As you said, Greg, extremely smooth. And now coming up on veteran Ron Hornaday, who is running in 3rd. There's our leader, Jeff Green, and watch out for the 57 of Jason Keller.
Teammates, I might add.
Yeah. Jason Keller, I think, might have something in store for his teammate tonight. His been strong at this speedway, and have you ever seen a guy in a garage in an afternoon with more confidence today than you saw Jason Keller?
Has got it all going on tonight. He really feels like this track owes him one. You touched on it earlier. He had this race won last year.
And you cut down a tire. You've had that happen. Boy, it's heartbreaking.
Well, it is, but, you know, that's one of those stories where they just come up and tell you that's racing. My kids told me, don't use that phrase, Dad, that's racing. But that was...
Oh, there's trouble on the front straightaway. Randy LaJoy is involved in it. He goes around. Caution is out. B.J. Jones' machine has got heavy smoke and damage.
And a lot of cars taking evasive access through the infield grass.
Fortunately for them, that accident, it did happen on the front straightaway where there was somewhere to go to avoid the accident. Here's B.J. Jones. Well, he's got heavy problems in the 19 machine.
That's exactly right. If that had happened off of turn 2 in the backstretch, there would have been a lot more cars involved.
Well, we are
77 is
we are under caution now for the 5th time tonight.
There he is right there. If that car is done for the evening.
Chad Chapman, another one who really needed a good run and had such high hopes, but had to take a provisional just to get in the show here tonight.
Jimmy Smut means crew chief for that car. He does a great job with young Chad. Here's a look at coming off of turn 4. We can't see what's happening, but obviously somebody's going around. It's Randy LaJoy. We don't know what caused him to go around, but there he is, and he is just along for the ride at that point.
And fortunately for Randy, he didn't hit anything.
Well, he was very fortunate. And all the drivers in the back, you can see they had no idea. They could not see. You pick a line, you try to slow down a little bit, and you hope for the best. Look at the guys on the grass on the infield.
Greg, you're the driver, and you're behind, and you see nothing but smoke. What do you do?
Basically, you hold your breath. You kind of just hold the car straight. You try to remember what you saw last. You pick a line, and you hope it's right.
Well, more on what happened on that #1 machine. Let's go to Mark Garrow.
Well, Mike, they've gone to the left side. The left rear tire was flat. It was nearly ripped entirely off the rim, so they changed that tire. Randy LaJoy down and away, and that Bob Evans Chevrolet, he may end up making another stop coming back around.
Tough break for Randy LaJoie, who won this race back in 1998, came in here 7th in points, had a win this year at Nashville, but it doesn't look like he'll have a win here tonight in Myrtle Beach.
I'll tell you, it doesn't look like there's any damage to the car. I think Randy's really okay.
Jeff Green is our leader. We are under caution for the 5th time. 133 laps in. The Myrtle Beach 250. Some of the fun of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Well, this is a great vacation spot. Many of these drivers came down here early in the week. Is that our producer, David Barringer, there on the jet ski? No. I don't think it was. But there was a lot of fun to be had down here at Myrtle Beach. But not some fun tonight for Randy LaJoie, more from Bob Dillner.
Randy LaJoie, the interesting note on him, actually, he wrecked last week at South Boston. After he wrecked, the car actually ran much better. They worked hard on that car to get it to come here to Myrtle Beach this weekend. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether he runs better, actually, after that wreck here. Back to you.
And we're going green on lap 137. And it is Jeff Green who quickly moves out in front. Jason Keller sets inside at second, and there's the 3 of Ron Hornaday. I think he's going to be a factor tonight.
Ron looks strong right now. He is right on the bumper of Keller.
Jeff Green has led the most laps here. Fastest in practice. Started on the pole. Checking out our Napa Field summary. Stop by any Napa Auto Parts store in June for the chance to win a new car for life. See that Todd Bodine is up to 12th. This point in the race, in the midway point, Greg, what's going through the driver's mind right now? Are you just thinking about taking care of that car? Or if you're Jason Keller, are you ready to battle for the lead?
If you're anybody but Jeff, you're trying to figure out how you can beat him, what you can do to your car to make it capable of winning, because he has shown his dominance so far in the first half of this race.
Jason Keller, you know, as we said, was so confident this afternoon that this was going to be his night tonight, running in second place. The field starting to get strung out again. It doesn't take it long when you start 43 cars.
There we go, Jason Leffler and Rich Bickle fighting back. That's 9th and 10th, I believe.
Mark Green, his lap car there, the 63.
Bickle.
Leffler is up to 8th now, and Bickle is in 9th. Good out of Mark Garrow.
Well, Rich Bickle, for the second week in a row, Mike, is making a habit out of starting deep in the pack and then driving to the front. If you remember a week ago, he started 30th something in South Boston, came in for his top 5 finish of the season. Tonight, back there in the 29th position, all the way up to the 9th spot. So not bad for a team that missed 5 of the first 6 races they attempted to qualify for this season.
And you know, Fred Waukee was on the truck team when Rich Bickle won a couple of Truck Series races a few years ago, and they got him back, started last week as the crew chief for the 91, and it made all the difference in the world.
They actually went to a test session at Greenville Pickens. They ran so well with Fred there, they said, hey, let's go up to Myrtle Beach, let's go to South Boston, let's run some of these short tracks.
10 feet away. Trying to catch up to Todd Bodine. Andy Santerre in the 25 is there. Bodine second in points. We talked about his ill-handling car a moment ago. Well, he has started to move up a bit. It is Bodine now in the 11th
speed he gets in the back
position.
Yeah. 105, 110 mile an hour, down to about 70 mile an hour, 66 mile an hour. Not quite as slow as he was earlier in the race. He was down about 60 miles per hour. The RPM range of the engine up to 8,000, down to about 52, 5,100 in the turn.
Yeah, motor will take a beating here.
Oh, real tough. You've got to have a wide range, wide band of power.
Bodine trying to get himself into the top 10 here tonight, and it has been a struggle for him to get there.
The torque curve on the engine is so important too, so that you don't don't just light up the tires on the very low end. You want the engine to kind of pull off kind of easy and then really turn on as you get into the straightaway.
Mike Dillon's had a tough night so far. Mark Arrow's there.
Problems continue to multiply. He was getting ready to come back out onto the racetrack, and half of the rear spoiler fell off. They were still coming back out onto the track, and the NASCAR official stepped behind the car and said, you're not going back until you fix that.
And how about this up front, battling for the lead? It is Green and Keller. For a moment, Jeff Keller was there, and then Jeff Green said,
Yeah, Jason had the lead. Jeff says, no way. I think that might have been a teammate deal. Get your bonus points. Now I'm leading the race.
Jeff Green didn't want him to be there for long, that's for sure. Jeff Green, as we talked about, loves Myrtle Beach. Came here on his honeymoon, comes here for vacation every year, and likes to race here, huh? Last 5 years, 3 top 5s. That's not bad.
That's strong. Jason Keller is not going to be happy with leading 1 lap. I can tell you that right now. He needs to find out what he needs to do to that car to get that 10th of a second per lap so that he can really get up there and compete with Jeff.
Jason Keller, the Greenville, South Carolina native, racing in his home state tonight. 6th in the points. Won at Dover this year. Like another win here in Myrtle Beach, but he's got to pass his teammate to do it. We'll be back. Tonight on the second half of Saturday night at the races. When the Busch boys are finished here at Myrtle Beach, we're going to Heartland Park, Topeka for Pennzoil World of Outlaws Racing. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Sunflower Shootout. It's coming up next on TNN Saturday night at the races. There's our points leader, Jeff Green. He's our race leader. Todd Bodine, who has moved up to 11th, has not led any laps, has not gained any points on one Jeff Green tonight, who really has his set sight on the 2000 NASCAR Busch Series Championship. Let's go down to Bob Dillner. More on Jeff Green.
Well, when Jason Keller took the lead a couple of laps ago, Greg Saxon mentioned that may have been a planned maneuver. Well, it was. Of course, you get 5 bonus points for leading a lap, and that's why Jeff Green moved over and let Jason Keller by. If they finish 1-2, it would be the first 1-2 finish for this team, the Mark Darrow.
You know, Ron Hornaday is no ordinary rookie on this series. He came into it with 25 Truck Series wins and 2 championships, and today they threw a birthday party for him. The Napa Auto Chevrolet team did that, and I went up to him and said, happy birthday, Ron. He said, look, don't you make me 1 day sooner, 1 day quicker, 42 years of age. He said, that's Tuesday, not today.
Kevin Harvick is on the move. He went by Casey Atwood in 4th, and now he's going by Ron Hornaday for 3rd.
And that's a battle for rookie position as well, because Hornaday, coming into this race, led Harvick by 5 points in the rookie standing. Hornaday 4th overall. His best finish to date has been a 3rd place, and that was at Rockingham and Nashville. 2 top 5s so far this year, but still looking for that 1 win. And there you see Kevin Harvick, the man who started outside on the front row. What a job he's done. And those 2 Richard Childress teams really came here well prepared and ready to roll tonight. As we talked about, Kevin Harvick started 2nd, running 3rd. Ron Hornaday, who leads the rookie standings, is 4th. Jason Leffler not having a bad night at all in the top 10. Currently running 8th. A couple other guys in the top 10 that we haven't talked about. You see there in your screen, coming into your picture, the number 98. There's the 34 of David Green, the 98 of Elton Sawyer. David Green, a past winner here, so too Elton Sawyer, and those 2 guys are on the move, running 6th and 7th.
Elton Sawyer is on a roll. You know, last week with his 3rd place finish, that was his best finish to date. Before that, it was 9th at Dover. Now he's challenging again tonight.
Bob?
The scores of 34 David Green and the 98 of Elton Sawyer are both looking for their first win of the year. I spoke to both of their crews recently, and they told me each driver has absolutely nothing for the past 30 laps. They are very happy with their cars, and they were catching Kevin Harvick and the boys, and they're coming to the front, but they're not saying anything about what those cars are doing right now.
Elton Sawyer's driving his car hard. You can see it move through the turns a little bit. He is getting everything out of that 98 car.
On a short track like this, when you're having to look in all directions, in front, to the side, behind you, working okay. There's no time to say anything.
Well, I'll tell you, when your driver's not talking, that's the best. That's when he's running hard. That's when he's going to the front. If he's not running well, he'll be whining, crying. This is not right. That's not right. If he's quiet, he's strong.
Look at the traffic in front of one Todd Bodine. You're on board with him right now. Bodine running in 10th place. He's just made it into the top 10. We'll check out his telemetry as we've been doing from time to time tonight.
Todd in heavy traffic.
That is Casey Atwood on the inside there.
Another 3 wide coming off that turn, you can see. And made it work underneath Dick Trickle. And here's Rich Bickle coming right along with him.
Give some credit to Dick Trickle. There's 3 wide going in there. He backed out just a little bit. Out the back of Todd Bodine, and you see he's gotten around Casey Atwood. Todd Bodine is on the move. So is Rich Bickle.
Right. Casey Atwood's fading a little right now. He's dropped back quite a few spots.
Atwood running 9th. Todd Bodine now up to 8th. Rich Bickle trying to get by Casey Atwood. Bickle's on the inside. Rich Bickle, for the last 2 weeks, has kind of rejuvenated his whole year.
Fred Winkler's done a great job for them. It's just been a disastrous season. They had missed 5 of the first 6 races. They really kind of threw their hands up. Fred came in. Everything started clicking. This team program is really coming around.
Up front throw, it's still that yellow tin. Jeff Green. Flying.
Hey, Jay Sauter in the 43 car is doing a nice job right there behind Bickle also. He's in the 10th spot right now.
Jay Sauter had some tough times with overheating a week ago, and now the Wisconsin native.
It looks like Atwood just can't keep the car on the bottom. Here we've got Feedable working underneath him again.
Here coming into our picture, Shane Hall there, and Jeff Green getting set to put him another lap down. Lapping the 33, Tony Raines. There goes Shane Hall.
4 tires under that yellow line. Amazing.
Jeff Green with 2 wins this year. Richmond and South Boston trying for his 3rd of the season. Here's the difference between first place, Jeff Green, and back to the 57. You can see the distance that he has now put on Jason Keller. It's a couple of seconds. There's the 57. So Green has really stretched it out of it. More on Jason Keller now from Mark Arrow.
Hogwood, his deficit has now grown to 3 seconds to his teammate Jeff Green. He's complaining that the car's too tight. It doesn't want to turn in the corner. They're going to try to loosen it up on the next pit stop. But one way he's trying to help it, he took a look at the arc that Jeff Green is using in the corner. He tried to copy it for a while to see if that wouldn't help his very own race car.
We are not too far away from those final pit stops. We'll be around to cover them for you in a moment. There's Jeff Green's wife, Michelle. She's had a happy vacation in Myrtle Beach. Hopes it ends on a good note tonight. Mike Hogwood, Greg Sachs, Mark Garrow, and Bob Dillner back with you in Myrtle Beach. And there's your leader, Jeff Green, who has stretched it out a couple of seconds now over Jason Keller. As we're getting down now to the bottom portion of this race, look at the intervals. Almost 5 seconds over Keller, and then another 7.3 seconds back to Kevin Harvick.
5 seconds, that's almost a full straightaway.
Takes about 20 seconds to get around this racetrack.
And the important fact about that is that he's got at least 10 lap cars between him and Jason.
So the story now is, if they stay green, when do they pit? I know that if you're a leader, if you're Jeff Green, you're hoping for a caution somewhere, are you?
Yeah, he won't stop unless he has to for fuel. I know he can go at least 125, maybe 130 or 40 laps.
More on the pit strategy. Let's go down to Bob Dillner.
Well, Mike, it's going to be oh so close for Jeff Green on fuel if this does stay green. I spoke to crew chief Harold Holly, and he said he is praying for a caution right now because this car is running great, and they don't want to chance anything on fuel at the end of this race.
64 laps remain. There's Harold Holly, cool and calm, just as he was a week ago. What a great job he does of preparing that race car. Jeff Green, one of 3 brothers in tonight's race, along with David and Mark. And you see the telemetry on his machine. Getting around this racetrack faster than anyone else. Well, if you're Jason Keller or Kevin Harvick, Greg, I would think there would be almost a feeling that you want to start pushing the car a little bit more, to knowing that he's pulling away from you.
They're doing all they can do at this point. I hate to say that, but I believe those guys are doing everything they can do. What they need right now is a caution to make an adjustment and have a chance.
Oh, there's a little kid. That was Kevin Grubb in the 37, whose back end almost went around on him, but not quite. Kevin Grubb keeps the 4 wheels going in the right direction, and there is no caution flag.
Ricky Hendrick did a real good job avoiding him also. Coming off of turn 4, okay, a lot of contact between Ricky Hendrick and the 37 car. But it all started up front with the 3 car of Hornaday. It looked like had a little trouble, and that's what caused the stacking up behind.
Kevin Grubb, the youngster from Mechanicsville, Virginia, 14th in point standings coming in. He and Ricky Hendrick, they're getting together. Now, Ricky Hendrick has had a good race.
Ricky's doing a nice job tonight. I'll tell you, he's got a lot of experience coming in here.
He's 14. Ricky Hendrick with a top 5 this year in Nashville. There's trouble in turn 4. Let's wait and see if the caution comes out. It does not. One car almost got turned all the way around, and
Jeff Green is right behind this pack. He's coming up on this group to lap him again. I know he'd love to see a caution.
we've had a lot of bumping and banging, and as soon as you think somebody's going around into the wall, these guys show what great drivers they are by keeping it going in the right direction. And you know that Jeff Green and Jason Keller both would like a caution.
Here's Jeff now, and he's just a few seconds behind that pack. Here it is, Casey Atwood. He's coming up on right now. To put Casey down a lap. He's really folded here the last few laps.
Casey Atwood has fallen from the top 10 down to the 15th position. Kevin Grubb is in the 37. He's in 14th. There are now 14 cars on the lead lap and about to be 13.
We're looking at Ron Hornaday out of the front window of Jeff's car.
Hornaday is in the 13th position. Check out the tire situation from Bob Dillner.
Mike, we spoke about early in the race how much this track wears tires. This right here is Jeff Green's tire that came off on the lap 70 pit stop. The wear indicator is gone. This track is very abrasive. These guys are on pins and needles right now. They have another set of tires waiting. All the teams on pit road right now want to put on tires because, Greg,
and there is trouble in between 3 and 4. That is Tim Fedowa in the 36 machine, and the caution is out. Caution is out, and I'm sure these crews will be scrambling around down on pit road as this is the break the leaders were looking for, Greg.
This is exactly what Jeff Green needed. He will definitely hit pit road this time around as soon as they open up the pits.
Boy, some damage on Tim Fedowa's car. You see the left rear really spitting out some sparks. Fedowa's not had the easiest of nights tonight. Winner earlier this year in Loudon. But problems tonight in Myrtle Beach for the 36 machine. All right, pit road is open, and here come our leaders. Jeff Green is headed down pit road. This the key stop of the race. Jason Keller right behind him. Let's go to Mark Garrow.
Jason Keller's crew jumps over the wall. They have now gone to the right side of that Chevrolet, and now coming slowly by them is the man who was fourth coming in under that yellow flag, Jeff Green. They've made a big adjustment in Jason Keller's car to try to get him up to speed. Let's go to Bob Dillner.
The 2-car of Kevin Harvick on pit road now. They are going to change 4 tires and make a slight chassis adjustment. The leader, Jeff Green, he's pulled off a pit road. Harold Holly, very happy, put his hands up in the air to say thank you for a caution when that yellow flag came out.
Just the break that Jeff Green needed. Going for his 3rd win of the season here tonight.
And he had a great pit stop.
Yeah, and we are approaching lap 200, and he now has on his last set of tires. We'll be back with more racing in Myrtle Beach in just a moment. There's our leader, Jeff Green. Oh, he wanted that caution. Got fresh tires on, full tank of fuel. He's ready to go. Hey, moments ago, there's Tim Fiedel getting into the wall. And Green does a nice job just getting by him. This is our Brian Pooling move of the race right here. Watch Green. There's the accident with Kevin Grubb down on the inside. Well, our leader does a good job. And how about the 3-car there, Greg Sachs?
Exactly right. You know, Jeff did exactly what he needed to do. He protected his car, protected his lead, and Ron Hornaday made his move. He got his lap back. That was a nice move also.
You're burning hot? Call Brian to the rescue at 1-888-999-BRIAN.
And there's Ron right now.
That was a pretty cool move, too.
It sure was. He saw his opening. He knew exactly what he was doing. He saw Jeff lit for the accident. He could see the wreck was up by the wall, so he knew he had the room to shoot through that gap.
Ron Hornaday now posted in the 12th position. There's Buckshot Jones back in 33rd spot. Not been the best of nights for Buckshot, but he has survived in that one Pontiac that they have in the stable. Randy LaJoie has also had his share of troubles tonight, but has hung in there now in the 17th position. So not an awful night for Randy. Kevin Harvick, the youngster, has done well. Started second, now running second. More from Bob Dillner.
Well, actually, he was running 3rd coming into that round of pit stops, and they gained a spot. They are very happy right now. Crew Chief Todd Berrier told me before that last caution, they were running the same lap times as Jeff Green. For the next 25, they're going to just ride, and then they're going to tell Kevin to turn it on. To Mark Carroll.
I'm with Steve Addington, the crew chief for Jason Keller. On that pit stop, Steve, it looked like you made a major adjustment. What was it? And do you have something for your teammate, Jeff Green?
Made a little bit of a shock adjustment there and air pressure and took some wedge out. We've been tight all night long in the Etc. Chevrolet. Question on whether we have anything for Jeff. Our teammate's pretty tough, but we're not going to lay down yet. I mean, he's good. He's good on long runs, so let's see if we can get him right here.
After what happened last year, Jason Keller certainly knows it isn't over until the checkered flag. Let's go back upstairs to Mike Hogwood and Greg Sachs.
Thank you, Mark. And Jason Keller does remember a year ago. And certainly I know that might weigh on his mind a little bit and not giving up at all. And how about if you're Kevin Harvick, the youngster, looking for that win in the Busch Series, and you're running second to a veteran right now. There you see his crew. That's Todd Berrier, the crew chief on the car.
45 laps remaining.
Wow.
Fresh tires, everything going for you. He was strong. We talked about it earlier, the moves he made when he took over 4th, when he took over 3rd. He looked like the fastest car on the track. I believe when they say he was running the same times as Jeff, that he may be capable of running faster.
Kevin Harvick's best finish so far this season, a 3rd in Richmond. Now you're riding with Jason Keller. You're ready for the green flag. Here's what Jeff Green sees. All clear. All clear and nothing in front of him. All clear. There's the telemetry on Jeff Green as Kevin Harvick now looks to the inside of it. Here comes Kevin Harvick. This is a battle for the lead. Boy, Harvick wasted no time.
Well, he got a little loose on the bottom there, and he couldn't make it stick.
Crash on the front straightaway. Tom Hubert spins around. There is no caution. Hubert there in the 20 machine.
fight off Kevin Harvick and his teammate Jason Keller. Jeff Green has his hands full. This happened a few moments ago. There's the 20 of Tom Hubert.
Looks like the back end just came around, like the back end just got loose with him.
Crash in turn 4. And this time the caution will wave, as that is Andy Santerre in the 25. Had been having a great night. So Green, Harvick, and Keller take the caution with 40 laps remaining. See the damage on Andy Santerre's machine. The left front beat in pretty good. And there's Hank Parker Jr. dragging a little sheet metal as well. But it won't take long to clean this up. And I would think now is where things get really serious, Greg Sachs. Jeff Green leads. We're under caution. Kevin Harvick and Jason Keller have their sights set on that yellow number 10. We'll be back. If you're looking for action on Wednesday night, you've come to the right place. TNN has this great lineup of shows: Dead Man's Gun, 18 Wheels of Justice, and the Magnificent Seven. It's a whole night of action every Wednesday right here on TNN's Action Wednesday. Let's go down to pit road and check in with Bob Dillner.
Well, Mike, Jason Leffler, the rookie in the MBNA 18, is having the time of his life right now. He is running 8th, and he thinks he can break into the top 5. As far as Elton Sawyer, you mentioned a while ago, he has won here before. He thinks he can win again. The car is perfect. They haven't made a change. He thinks he can come and challenge Jeff Green and Kevin Harvick for those top 2 spots.
We'll wait and see. Currently running in the 8th position right now. It's Jason Leffler, as we're still under caution here. Gives me a chance to say hi to the folks at the Petty Family Reunion in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Why am I saying that? They're the in-laws of our production executive, Vin Brown. You always want to stay in good graces with the production executive.
There you go. That's right. I'll tell you what else we have out here. We got Sawyer, but we also have Bickle, 5th spot. Looking real good. Rich Bickle coming off a 5th place finish.
And let's remember, that's right.
Yeah.
Top 5 last week at South Boston. There have been reports of some problems on David Green's machine. How about it, Mark Garrow?
The engine has a miss right now in that race car. They don't know if it's an engine problem. They have asked him to switch boxes, ignition boxes. He did that, but then they didn't get enough time under Green to see if that solved the problem. They've got their fingers crossed, hoping that car can stay up front, that they have solved the problem with the switching of the ignition boxes.
All right, we'll see as he's running in 6th as we're ready to go. Green, keep an eye out on that blue 2. It's right behind Jeff Green. The 63 of Mark Green is a lap car there. And Harvick's going to make that move again. Here he comes. Side by side, battling for the lead here.
He's got his nose in there.
Kevin Harvick wasted no time going for it.
Jeff Green made the big power move on the outside, though. He had all the bite and had the run up off of turn 4.
This is where you really see the experience of a Jeff Green.
Exactly right. He is not about to give up that lead easy. I can guarantee you that.
We saw this battle last week. It was Tony Raines who was in 2nd. Jeff Green was able to hold him off for the win. Can he do the same with Kevin Harvick here? And how about Jason Keller running 3rd? We told you about David Green and Leffler, also in the top 10. Think they have something. There is Jason Keller.
Kevin Harvick's having the time of his life in 2nd spot there between Green and Keller, 2 veterans. A rookie showing his stuff tonight.
You see that yellow stripe on the back of that blue Chevrolet?
Right on the bottom, too. What a nice job he's doing.
A look at the telemetry on Jason Keller's machine.
winding down at Myrtle Beach. And Jeff Green is starting to put some distance on Kevin Harvick.
I think Kevin Harvick knew that he had to make his move right when the green flag dropped. I think he really knew that, and now Jeff Green is stretching it out.
We were talking about how close they run to that wall. Did you see Harvick? And wow, he's just about 2 inches away from the wall, down below that yellow line.
That is youth. That's all youth right there. He is not intimidated by that wall.
Look at that.
At all. Look at that.
Inches from the wall. That's the new pit wall that is here at Myrtle Beach, making it one continuous pit road. It's taken away some of that low racing groove, but these drivers have found a way around this racetrack. Jeff Green of Owensboro, Kentucky. And there's the 34 machine we told you about a moment ago of David Green starting to drop back now.
Apparently, that engine problem is giving him more trouble. The engine is going away on the 34 car.
Well, it doesn't look like David Green will be a factor towards the end of this race, as Elton Sawyer has now moved up into the 4th position. Rich Bickle is running in the top 5 as well, and lurking there in 6th is Todd Bodine. All chasing that man. There you get a glance at the interval as it has started to spread out just a little bit. We've said this would be Jeff Green's 3rd win of the year if he could pull it off tonight. Traffic really bunched up behind him. Ron Hornaday.
Here we have Ron working after getting that lap back. Key factory, good opportunity to really move up in the field.
He is running 8th. Jason Leffler is 7th. That is a battle for position.
And if it hadn't been for that move to get that lap back, this wouldn't be happening for him. He'd be battling to be the first car 1 lap down.
So that move did pay off for Ron Hornaday. Michael Rich is in the 55 machine, and you see there he is a lap down.
Ron is pumped up. You can see it. This has put him back in the hunt. He's feeling it right now.
Now 24 laps remain. For guys like Ron Hornaday and Jason Leffler, it's now becoming a matter of time. Well, he started first. He's running first. He's led the most laps tonight, Jeff Green. But give Todd Bodine some credit. You're on board with him right now. Started 22nd. He fought off an ill-handling race car and is now up to 6th. He's run a strong race.
It has been incredible, the trouble that Todd has had, how he has savored a 6th place finish right now where he's currently 6th. I can't believe it. I would have thought he was out of the running before now.
Well, can Jeff Green hold on? We'll be back for the finish of the Myrtle Beach 250. Jeff Green is our leader. Kevin Harvick running second. 15 laps remain. Mike Hogwood, Greg Sachs, Mark Darrell, and Bob Dillner are with you for the finish of the Myrtle Beach 250. Jeff Green is out in front as he has been most of the night. Kevin Harvick, the youngster who started alongside him, has run a great race and is trying to get up and be able to challenge him. One guy who's made a move of late and has moved into the top 5, Elton Sawyer, who's a former winner.
Doing a great job. He is doing a great job.
The 94 winner here at Myrtle Beach has been in the top 10 5 of the last 6 races. There's Elton Sawyer, who now makes his home in Greensboro, North Carolina, a native of Chesapeake, Virginia. And that Ford has been stout. And that's the 57 he is going after, Jason Keller. Kevin Harvick, does he have anything for Jeff Green? Anything left at all? Let's check in with Bob Dillner.
Sir, Mike, is no, absolutely not. They basically conceded defeat to the number 10 car. That car is way too tight. It's not turning in the corner, and they won't be able to catch the 10 car.
Still, if he would be able to come home second, it would be his strongest finish of the year. Did have a 3rd in Richmond, 5th in the points, and it would really help him in those rookie standings. So a lot still to drive for Kevin Harvick. Hank Parker Jr. a couple laps down in the 53 as Harvick goes by. There you saw the difference between Jeff Green in the 10 and Harvick in the 2. David Green up high in the 34. Having some engine problems late in this race. 10 laps remain. Greg Sachs, if you're Jeff Green right now, you're hearing everything inside that race car, aren't you?
Well, you sure are, but you sure are. And here we have Elton Sawyer looking to the inside of Jason Keller. He's been working hard for that spot.
And he's going to get him.
That puts Elton into third position and Jason back to fourth.
He finished third a week ago in South Boston, Virginia. Can he hang on for another third? Elton Sawyer running great late in this race. 8 laps remain.
Jeff Green's making it look easy up front right now.
But it hasn't been easy for Jeff Green, who had a brief stint in the Winston Cup and back in this Busch Series, really wants to win a championship this year. And you can tell from the way he's run in the past couple of weeks that this team has chemistry. They are together. He and Harold Holley are on the same page, and that's so important for a driver and a crew chief.
It's so important. We talked about it earlier. He and Harold wanted him as his driver. They have that confidence in one another. They believe in one another. Harold will react to Jeff's wishes in the car. He believes what he's saying about the chassis, and that's what makes the chemistry work.
Here's the telemetry on Jeff Green as you're riding with him now, and you see him fighting that lap traffic. It is a traffic jam here at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
And this is not what Jeff wants right now. One little mistake up front could cost him dearly.
Jeff Green, the 99 winner of this race, not only make it 2 races in a row, but 2 years in a row at the same track.
And stretches point lead on top of that.
Sometimes things are just all falling your way, aren't they? And right now they're all falling in the right way for Jeff Green.
But 4 laps to go, anything can happen here, and he knows that.
Jeff Green safely negotiates his way around Tom Hubert. Wayne Grubb is the next lap car up in front of him.
He can taste victory, but he knows he can't make a mistake with this lap traffic.
Wayne Grubb does a nice job of staying up high and letting Jeff Green on by. Three laps remain, coming down. 2 to go. Kevin Harvick giving it a run right now. Harvick doing his best to try to catch up to the 10 car. Still about 15 car lengths separate the two. As Jeff Green gets set to take the white flag this time by. White flag is out for Jeff Green, trying for his 3rd win of the season, his 2nd in a row. Green negotiating the lap car of Buckshot Jones. Jeff Green can taste it now. He has led 196 laps of this race, and he's going to lead the last one. Jeff Green is the winner of the Myrtle Beach 250. Congratulations to Harold Holley and his crew. The fist out the window. Jeff Green says he loves Myrtle Beach. He loves to vacation here. He loves to race here, and it showed tonight. Bob Dillner?
Well, Harold Holley and the boys just congratulating each other with high fives down here. We're trying to get over to Harold Holley. Harold, 2 victories in a row for this team. You guys are on a roll.
I tell you, Jeff Green, he just keeps getting more patient and patient every week that we get to these bull rings. And his patience tonight and these guys' experience and their awesome pit stops just paid off for the Nesquik Chevy tonight. Jeff's an awesome driver. I tell you what, he just gets more and more mature every race. These guys are getting more awesome on the pit stops. All their preparations well. All the guys at the shop are working really hard. I tell you, everything's just really gelling right now.
We'll go back upstairs.
Well, Jeff Green taking an extra lap around this racetrack. Well deserved. We'll be back to hear from our winner tonight in Myrtle Beach, Jeff Green, in just a moment.
Here in victory lane at Myrtle Beach, Jeff Green climbing from the Nesquik Chevrolet after his 3rd victory this season and giving everybody a little bit of a shower. As, of course, he's very happy. He will climb down off this victorious race car. Jeff, that performance pretty dominating. Have you had ever a race like that where you just had everybody covered so badly?
When you drive this Nesquik Chevy, man, Mark, it's awesome. And, you know, I wanted Jason to run second, and the 2 cars really hounded me a lot. But this thing was just on a rail, and I was just taking care of my tires there, you know, and just didn't want to see it last caution. But it worked out okay. Everybody got new tires. You know, pit strategy worked out for us and everything. Guys did a great job today on a Nesquik Chevy. It's the same one we won with last week, and just happy to be here. You know, don't get enough to thank Nesquik and Nestea and everybody involved with us, Juicy Juice, Coffee Mate, and everybody. Libby's on the trunk here. Everybody at Nestle involved us with. It's awesome.
Talk about it, the only glitch you had tonight, the situation. And Jason Keller jumping now here in victory lane to give a hug to his teammate. They both had a great run tonight. The only glitch tonight, the bump from Kevin Harvick. What happened there, and what were your thoughts after that? I understand you're a little bit hot in the race car.
Well, I got caught up in traffic there and got hung up on the outside, and I had a hole to get down, and he didn't want me to get there, and he just wanted to wreck me, I guess, Mark. There's throttle springs on the carburetor for a reason, and you got to let off every once in a while, but he drove me clean the rest of the night, and it's just he's a rookie, and he's learning too, but, you know, I did the same thing back when I was a rookie too, but good Lord, he blessed me with this great race team and this great race car, and this great sponsor, Nesquik, and them Goodyear tires, man. This old track is ate up and just rough and coarse and everything. Eats these Goodyears up, but they held on our car tonight.
So Jeff Green very happy to be back in victory lane for the 2nd straight year here at Myrtle Beach.
What a night it was for Jeff Green as we look through the top 10. How about the youngster, Kevin Harvick, the rookie, Elton Sawyer, 2nd straight 3rd place finish. Jason Keller comes home with a top 5. And how about Rich Bickle? Didn't make 5 out of 6, and here he is, 2 top 5s in a row. Todd Bodine, 2nd in points. Jason Leffler, a strong race. Kevin Grubb finishes 8th. Ron Hornaday in the top 10. And Jay Sauter, a steady race tonight, started 15th and comes home 10th. Let's go to Bob Dillner now, who has what has to be a happy rookie with him.
A very happy rookie. Not only a great night here for Jeff Green, but an awesome night for Kevin Harvick. You had the win within your sights, just a little bit short.
Yeah, I tell you, this team has really come a long way since the beginning of the season. Not only the crew, I mean the driver, we're just learning. There's a whole lot of experience that we're getting beat by, and you know, it's starting to get frustrating getting beat by them. Those are the people that we hate to get beat by the worst. So this RCR AC Delco team, we're just going to keep digging. I mean, we got to keep gaining points back that we gave him in Rockingham, and Green's strong right now, but I hate losing to him.
A little bit of bumping and banging there, too, and you got up underneath of him coming off a 4 for a restart at one point.
Yeah, he kind of squeezed me down there, and I just had to let him know that, you know, that he's not the only one on the racetrack. So if he's going to cut in front of this old AC Delco Monte Carlo, he's going to get a little bumper.
Win oh so close. What about coming up? We got a couple of good racetracks for you coming up.
Yeah, Watkins Glen should be good, and I don't even know where we race after that, Milwaukee. So seems like every racetrack we go to, we gain a little bit more experience. I gain a little bit more experience. Todd Barrier did a heck of a job tonight keeping the tires under this car. At every lap, he was screaming at me, keep the tires under it.
That win will be coming very shortly for Kevin Harvick. Back to you, Mike.
Yeah, indeed it will, Bob. What a strong run, and I love his competitive spirit. He is fired up. Jeff Green, our winner here at Myrtle Beach. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
I'd like to wish my dad, Don LaJoy, a happy Father's Day. And to the rest of the dads out there, happy Father's Day.
Hey, Dad. Thanks for everything. Have a great Father's Day.
Hey, Pop. Everybody out there, happy Father's Day.
Hi, I'd like to wish all the fathers out there happy Father's Day. It's my 2nd Father's Day, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. Happy Father's Day.
I'll second that. Happy Father's Day to everyone out tonight. And it has been a NASCAR night on TNN Sports. Now, tomorrow, TNN will present live coverage of the Pocono 500 at Pocono Raceway. It's at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific. You see Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin in row 3. You saw the Yates cars starting near the front. Mike Skinner's up there as well. Bobby Labonte's in row 6. He's won 2 races in a row at Pocono. Don't count out Dale Earnhardt Jr. starting alongside his dad. That'll be interesting early in the race. Ken Schrader, Brett Bodine in row 10. Tomorrow at 12:30 live, our pre-race show, and then the green flag will drop at 1 o'clock Eastern. Eli Gold, Dick Berger, and Buddy Baker, the whole crew are up in Pocono, ready to go to bring you that race tomorrow. It should be a great one. What a great racetrack that is, Greg Sachs. You've raced on it before. It is
awesome racetrack. 3 distinct turns. You can't get the car right in any one. What a great race it'll make tomorrow.
That's tomorrow here on TNN Sports. Well, we talked about Elton Sawyer. What a great run he had tonight. Second week in a row with a top 5 finish. And he's with Mark Garrow.
Well, Mike, this team has certainly found the groove. 6 top 10s now in the last 7 races. You have 2 straight third-place finishes. How does it feel to have the team, the car, hooked up lately the way it has been?
Well, Mark, that feels great. But first of all, hopefully my dad's still up. I want to wish you a happy Father's Day tomorrow. It's getting a little bit late, but the Lysol team's been working extremely hard. We found something with this new chassis, something I didn't like in the past, but they finally found the combination that I like. And, you know, all the credit goes to Ricky Byers and this whole race team. They've worked extremely hard. I think we passed like 6 cars on pit road tonight. And we got ourselves in position there at the end with 50 to go, and we just didn't have anything for the 2 and the 10.
You seemed to turn it loose a little bit at the end. Were you saving something that maybe you didn't have something for the first 2 cars, but you wanted to make sure that you were top 5, maybe top 3?
Well, Mark, this is a tire management racetrack. You don't win it in the first 200 laps. And our strategy or our goal to start with was get ourselves in position with 50 to go and then go race. And that's what we did. When I turned it up, all I had was a 3rd-place car.
Let's go to back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Mark. And again, congratulations to Elton Sawyer as we run through the full field for you tonight. Rich Bickle, what a great job he's done for the 2nd week in a row. Right through the top 10, Ron Hornaday, the rookie, finishing 9th. Jay Sauter, 10th. Back through the field, Casey Atwood contended early in this race and fell back to 11th.
Ricky Hendrick did a great job coming in 13th.
He sure did. So did Jay Fogelman as well. Tony Raines, great run last week, couldn't back it up here tonight. Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Andy Santerre, he showed a little muscle early in the race, faded to 20th.
Bobby Hill in 23rd. Hank Parker Jr. got beaten, banged up a little bit tonight.
Yes, he did.
Jason Schuler also involved in one of our cautions. Justin Labonte got his rear end bent in early.
Mario Goslin, a winner here in another series. He had his treble early in the race.
Jeff Purvis, also the victim of an accident down in turn 1, comes home 42nd. Let's go down to Bob Dillner.
Oh, Mike, we're just sitting here on the pit wall hanging out with Jason Keller, the 4th-place finisher here at Myrtle Beach. And, Jason, we were just joking around a little bit. You can sleep a lot better after this race compared to last year.
Yeah, you know, we just finished 4th. Teammate won. He had a great race car. And we probably had the 2nd-best race car most of the race. And I asked the crew to change a little bit there on our last stop. And probably messed us up there a little bit. But at least I can sleep tonight. Take me some Excedrin PM, and I definitely can go to sleep tonight. But, you know, it's not bad. You know, we felt like we needed to come here and contend, and it's not bad when you're a little bit disappointed with a 4th-place finish.
It is bad, especially when consistency means a lot here in NASCAR, and this team is showing the consistency now that you've wanted for a long time, Jason.
It is. You know, we're going into a stretch of races that I like, and we've shown over the last probably 6-8 races that we can contend, and that's what we need to do. We're not gaining a lot of points, but that's not really our objective right now. We just need to rack up the good finishes. And, you know, I think my teammate's in the driver's seat. He's right on the rail right now, and it's going to be tough to catch him. But I know what he's doing, so I think we'll have the best shot of anybody to catch him.
Good luck. We'll go over to Mark Garrow.
Well, 5 used to be a bad number for Rich Bickle. He missed 5 of the first 6 races they attempted to qualify for this year, but 2 straight weeks now, a 5th-place finish for this Aqua Velva team. How does it feel to have this thing turned around?
Well, we're getting there. We don't even get totally turned around, but Fred Wangy come on board and he used to race with me all the time. We've done pretty good. And you know, it feels good to get this Aqua Velva Popeye's Chicken Pontiac towards the front. I mean, it's been a nightmare for me. I've never expected to struggle this hard in this Busch deal, but we found some things wrong the last couple weeks, and if we can keep them progressing, we'll get ready for Milwaukee and go up there and run one more race for Aqua Velva, and then we do some Popeye chicken races, and if we keep running the top 5, the sponsors smile a lot more when you do that than when you're not making racing. They call and say, man, what's going on? Talk about embarrassing, but this definitely helps my mind, and the guys in the crew did a heck of a job. But I got to say one thing. I got to thank Richard Lynn and Kyle Petty for letting Adam's crew come down and pit stop my car. Every stop we picked up 3 or 4 spots, and Richard's one of my heroes, and it was great for him and for letting them do it.
Well, we've talked to the top 5. Let's talk once again to Mike Hogwood.
All right, thanks a lot. And again, congratulations to Rich Bickle. Another great run. Traffic filing out here in the Grand Strand of Myrtle Beach. Jeff Green, our winner. We'll be back in a moment. Big night for Jeff Green at Myrtle Beach. Greg Sachs, was a lot of fun tonight.
Oh, great to be here with you, Mike. I enjoyed it.
It was fun as 2 weeks of short track racing here on TNN Sports, and Jeff Green has built his lead over Todd Bodine now to 299 points. Jason Keller third in the standings. Hey, don't forget, coming up next, we're going to Heartland Park, Topeka for the Pennzoil World of Outlaws racing. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Sunflower Shootout. That's coming up next on TNN Saturday night at the races. Hope you've enjoyed this race from Myrtle Beach, the Grand Strand of South Carolina. Jeff Green has been our winner here tonight, and it's been a fun couple of weeks of short track racing. For Bob Dillner, Mark Garrow, Greg Sachs, I'm Mike Hogwood. Thanks for watching. So long from Myrtle Beach.